Hi, this is Eric Wimmer with Wasatch E-Cable. Another video. I'm going to want to talk to you about the difference in the different cables that are on the market. There are really only two kinds of cables. There's a self-regulating heat tape or heat cable and a constant wattage heat cable. Right here I have stripped down three different cables so you can kind of view them. And if you want to come in and take a look at this. These are, I'm going to name off these brands. This is a constant wattage heat tape. This is also known as just Easy Heat. It's a box store brand. You can typically find it in most hardware stores. Okay, it's about the size of a coax cable. This one here is a self-regulating heat tape, considered commercial, maybe light commercial residential heat tape. This one is also the same comparison. It's a self-regulating heat tape. In comparing these here, you'll see this has got a blue coating inside. It's an indicator letting us know that it's a 120 volt heat tape, not a 240 volt. This one here, these two are actually about identical. Their performance, the heat output, everything it does, they function the same way. They're pretty much the same type of cable. This one is a little bit thicker. In my own personal opinion, this one's got a little bit more of an advantage. This is called Technatrace. Okay, this is Raychem. Technatrace, in my opinion, has a harder outer coating or a outer jacket right here. It's a Teflon coating jacket. It's more durable. I've found this one gets beat up real easy and it opens up with gashes and abrasions very easily. And this one holds up a little bit better. That's just from my experience. Okay. Now this one here, the constant wattage heat tape, these are the differences in the two cables. Constant wattage is meaning that the constant wattage, meaning it's running constant, the power draw. It is 5 watts a linear foot regardless of what temperature is outside. So if it is 100 degrees in the middle of summer and you're running this constant wattage heat tape and it's plugged in, it's going to be 5 watts a foot regardless of temperature. Wintertime, 5 watts a linear foot. The self-regulating heat tape, okay, these other two, these will fluctuate the amount of heat output based on the temperature outside. So the colder it gets, these will put out more heat, in turn pulling more energy and using more power. Now, to compare the two, and this is a rough ballpark, at about 43 degrees, between 40 and 45 degrees, these are going to both pull about 5 watts a foot. At 20 degrees outside, these two are going to increase to somewhere between 9 and 11 watts a foot. And they typically, these two particular ones, max out at 16 watts a linear foot. So if you're to compare that at 0 or -5, -10, these are going to put out 3 times the heat that this one will. So their performance is going to be much better. Now, in comparison with these two as well, typically these commercial heat tape lines will give you somewhere between an 8, maybe a 12-year warranty. These ones are typically a 1-year warranty from the manufacturer. If you get a longer warranty from an installer, more power to you. But that's the difference in what these heat tapes are. These are basically the two kinds that are on the market. Self-regulating, meaning it fluctuates the heat output based on temperature. It never fully shuts off, and it never turns itself on. It will always be on. Okay? And then there's constant wattage. It's just constant. So that is the difference in these two. I hope this helps people to understand the difference in the cables that are out there, what some of the options are. You can get to industrial heat tapes that'll max out at 24 watts a foot. They're made very similarly, but their construction is slightly different on the inside, which will allow it to heat up more. So I'm going to really quick tell you a little bit more about these two and some of the structure of these. So the constant wattage heat tape, you can see, has 2 bus wires that come out the top. I don't know if you can see those. Let's see if you can get in closer. 2 bus wires. It's got an outer coating that holds the bus wires and a ground braid and an outer jacket. That's it. Okay? These two just heat up based on power running through them. Now the self-regulating heat tape, I'm going to use this Raychem as an example. you have similar structure. You've got an outer jacket. You have a ground braid that's in there. You've got a barrier right here, this plastic, that protects the ground braid from, it's got carbon. That's what it is, carbon plastic. So it's got carbon built into the plastic. So the colder the temperatures get, this black area right here, the carbon in the plastic will align between the bus wires, allowing electricity to pass back and forth, in turn generating heat. The colder it gets outside, they de-align and reduce the heat output. So that's how these things function. Okay, you can see there's a big difference in these two types of heat tape. The quality is obviously a lot better here. This one's not so great, but it does have its purposes. Okay, so I hope this helps you guys to understand more about these things. Thanks for watching. Eric Wimmer, Wasatch Heat Cable.